This is Andy Pirro for Boxing Social, and I'm delighted to be joined by the Jackal, Carl Frampton. Carl, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing good.
It's good to hear. Obviously, we're down here now. We're only a couple of days away from your IBF Featherweight World Title fight with Josh Warrington. Just talk me through your camp first.
Camp's been good. I've had good quality sparring in. No real hiccups at all, and everyone says it that they've had a good camp, but I've genuinely had a good camp. So I've ticked all the boxes, and I'm where I need to be right now.
It's your first fight with Jamie Moore for a world title in the IBF. How has that gone in terms of a step up through your camps? As this is your third fight together now.
Yeah.
So how are you finding it as you've progressed through into the bigger fights?
Yeah, obviously, me and Jamie, I feel like I've known him for years, but I've only been with him for about not even a year and a half now. So I think we're still improving as a team together. I think that his methods and his methods to training and his approach to training is something that I needed at this stage of my career, and I think it's benefited me. And I genuinely believe that right now, the way I've been performing in the gym, I think this is my best years.
It seemed to be a very quick and easy decision for you when you joined up with Jamie. What was it about him that made you think this is the guy who I want to take me forward?
Yeah, I had a few guys in my head. Jamie wasn't one of them, if I'm being honest. My dad actually suggested Jamie Moore, and I hadn't thought about him, if I'm being honest, and he was the first one to try. So I think it was Jamie Moore, Adam Booth, Pete Taylor, we call the guy that was training David Hay as well, Salas, and I hadn't approached any of them, but they were in my head. I was going to ask them. They may have told me to piss off and they didn't want to work with me, but I was thinking I'd like to have asked him. But I asked Jamie first, and I worked on him. And the basis was I'll go and try it out, and went over for a few days and loved it and clicked with him instantly. And I listened to what he had to say, and I agreed with it. And yeah, it's going good so far, and I think I've made the right decision. I know I've made the right decision.
I'm always seeing as well, whenever I go on social media, yourself and some of the other guys who Jamie trains, always getting up to little pranks and that. I'm always seeing a little hot teaspoon going onto the back of your neck. So what's all this about? Where's it all come from?
That's Tommy Coy. Well, they're all messers in the gym. You know, we train hard and we take ourselves serious when we have to, but we can have a laugh as well. And Tommy's top. Like, you just have to be on your guard all the time when Tommy's around. So it's good fun. It's good fun. The gym, I enjoy the atmosphere. I enjoy the crack with boys, but full of characters.
And obviously we are here today for your fight with Josh. Just talk me through what you've worked on that you haven't had to previously, or what you've been looking into that Josh will bring that you may not have come up against before.
Well, I think that I don't think he's got anything that I've never come up against. I've fought all sorts of styles, and that's not me being disrespectful to him, but I've fought, the aggressive, fast-paced fighters like Cruz. I've fought counter-punchers. I've fought little, short, stocky, come-forward guys and hard punchers like Kiko Martinez. So Josh Warrington doesn't have anything that I haven't seen and beaten before. But what we've been working on in the gym is, I believe I do everything a bit better than Josh Warrington, but he's very fit and he can be relentless at times. So we've been working on me being able to do what I do best at a high pace, and we put a lot of effort in this camp, and it's went well. So whatever he has to bring, aggressive, come forward in my face, or he wants to go on the back foot, I've seen it all and I'll be able to deal with it.
If you had a picture in your head in terms of how the fight will play out, maybe round by round, how do you see it going? Obviously, you've just mentioned Josh's relentless pace, and most of his fights have gone the distance. Is that something you're expecting?
Potentially, but look, I'll not take anything for granted at all. I'm expecting a hard fight, but I have the power to get rid of this guy, and I just want to win the fight. If it takes 12 hard, grueling rounds to do that, I'm capable of doing it, and I'll do it. But equally so, I've got the power to take him out. So we'll see what happens, but I win the fight no matter what.
Josh stepping in with yourself, it's his first defence with his world title. Does that surprise you that he's decided to take on such a stiff and a tough challenge in his first defence? Many would have forgiven him for maybe taking an easier fight before looking at somebody like yourself or another unification fight.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I think you have to give him a bit of credit for taking the fight, but I think that I think that I think it is his biggest payday, and that's one of the reasons why he's taking it. And I think they've mentioned it a lot, and they keep talking about timing, as if they've got me at the right time. They said it about Selby, they got him at the right time. So they got Selby at the right time. What they mean is they got him when he was completely weight drained, and that's why they didn't take him a year and a half or 2 years before when the fight was initially being talked about. They think they've got me when I'm over the hill, but they've got it wrong this time. I think the timing was perfect for Lee Selby, but not for me. They've got it wrong, and I'm going to show them that I've still plenty left to give in this game.
I mean, how many years can you see yourself continuing on with your career after this fight, or does it all come down to how this fight plans out?
Oh, well, it's one fight at a time, isn't it? But I want to win this fight. I want to unify, and I want to move on, have bigger fights, and I don't have a time frame in my head of when I'm going to retire. I did before, and a few years ago I was hating boxing, wasn't enjoying it, and was looking forward to retiring. But I'm enjoying myself now. I'm enjoying the camaraderie in the gym and being around the boys, and I'm enjoying the training. I'm enjoying the big nights, and I don't know. I don't have a limit on it, but we'll see. It's one fight at a time, and I'm fully focused on Josh Warrington. I give him. People ask me the questions about future fights, so I'll answer them. But I give Josh the respect he deserves, and I'm fully focused on him for this fight.
You've just mentioned, your loss of motivation a few years ago. How difficult can it be, when you spend your entire career in boxing, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years or longer, to try and find that passion again? Is that where, linking up with Jamie, just something different that you've brought to yourself and your own regime is what you needed to maybe reignite your fire for the sport?
I think so. I think being around the people that I'm with is definitely giving me a kick up the backside that I needed. And it's when you come out of a situation that you're in and you see what it's like on the other side, really. And I'm around Jamie and all the boys, and they're good people, and I enjoy their company. And it's like I've never ever before felt good about getting up in the morning and going to. I've never looked forward to going to the gym previously, but once I've teamed up with Jamie and the lads, I genuinely enjoy going to the gym. And I suppose I was winning big fights when I was unhappy and not really enjoying boxing. Now I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm in my prime years. I think there's still more to come.
So when you was boxing and you wasn't necessarily enjoying it as much as what you are now, was there almost a sense of you continue to fight because boxing was all you knew, and you had to do something with your time?
Of course, look, it's all I knew. It is all I know, and obviously it was a way of earning money. And I'm always thinking about my family and setting up security after boxing. I know it's a short career and you can't do it all your days, but I want to have enough dough that we can live a nice, comfortable life after boxing. And I think that the way things are going at the minute with Frank and MTK and Jamie, everything's going well.
And I do have to ask, I know you said that people will ask you and you answer the questions, but looking past this fight, if everything went to plan, Oscar Valdez has called out whoever wins, and obviously you've got the third fight with Leo Santa Cruz on the cards. What would be your preference if you could choose?
Preference would be Santa Cruz because it would be a unification fight and a decider and a trilogy, but I think he's fighting around February, so he'll be ruled out until the summer. So Oscar Valdez is another great fight. Gary Russell as well, just one of the other champions. My preference would be Santa Cruz, but if it has to be Valdez or Gary Russell, I don't mind. I want to be involved in big fights against quality fighters like Valdez and Russell and Santa Cruz and Warrington from here on in until the end of my career.
Do you think we will see the Santa Cruz third fight at some point? I think it's a fight which everybody wants to see more than any in terms of yourself and who you could fight if everyone went to plan against Josh.
It happens. It has to happen. Just when is the question, but you can't leave it at one each. Two good fights, two close fights. I won the first one, he won the second one. We have to settle a score.
Would that have to be in Belfast as well? No, something that you'd like? Or?
Not necessarily. I've said and I've openly said I would travel, and I'd be happy to travel. So, I'd be happy to. People are talking about the East Coast again. New York was fantastic, but I loved Vegas, and I'd be happy to travel to Vegas as well if needs be.
And just to get your thoughts as well on Rocky's fight over the weekend with Canelo, what did you make of it?
To be honest, I was disappointed because obviously it was a huge task at hand, and Canelo was an amazing fighter. But Rocky was performing in the gym. He was looking good. He was hurting sparring partners and opponents, and I don't know. I think maybe Canelo's an unbelievable fighter, and he hurt him with a body shot early on. But I was excited for Rocky and excited for the performance I believed he could have put in. I think, and he'd probably agree with me, he underperformed. Rocky's better than that, but do you know what? He put his name out there. He fought the best in the world. He was brave. He kept getting up after the knockdowns, and fair play to him. Hopefully he can get another few big fights out of it.
Rocky came under some stick over social media and from fans and that because of what happened during the fight. In fact, it stopped him a third. Do you think if people had seen him in camp then and saw the version that you were seeing in camp, they would have thought he has just in the end come up against an elite level fighter and there was nothing he could do on the night?
Yeah, I think so. Genuinely, we knew it was going to be a hard fight, but what I seen in the camp and the size of Rocky, I was thinking, fuck me, this big man has a chance here, and he's a puncher's chance. He's a big man, he can punch hard, but it doesn't matter what people are saying. Look, if you're worried about what people and trolls are saying on Twitter, you wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. So their opinion means not a thing. So it doesn't really matter.
And my final question: a couple of weeks prior to this, we saw Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. What was your thoughts on that?
I thought Fury won the fight, and to get up in the last round, it was his eyes were closed. He was out. It was unreal. It was. Some of the videos going about are hilarious, but it just shows you the character Tyson Fury has to come back from everything that he's came back from the the weight loss and the mental health problems and everything he came back from, and then to put in a performance like that, and then to get dropped in the last round, and then to get up and finish the round strong. Mentally, one of the strongest characters I've ever seen, and he won the fight for me. And the problem is now, for all the other heavyweights, is Fury he's still improving off that long layout, and he's still getting sharper. And I think a draw probably, although he won the fight, I think it suits him because he'll win more convincingly in the next fight. I think he beats them all. I really do.
In terms of the judges' scorecards, is that something that other fighters, when they travel, they'll look at and they'll think, I've just got to go for the stoppage? Is that something in your experience as well? Maybe if you had the third Santa Cruz fight abroad, are you going to have little doubts about what the judges might think?
No, I think you're in the wrong game if you're worried about the judges. I think that people know, and there's been enough of an outcry about the result with Fury and Wilder that the boxing fans know who won that fight. So you don't have to worry about judging, and the people and the fans and the support, they let you know if you won the fight or not. So fuck what the judges say. Sometimes I don't care about judgments.
Well, Carl, I've kept you for long enough and I've got a couple of people waiting, so thanks for being to Boxing Social.
Thank you.